Hello, it is Brittany from Book Afterthoughts. Happy New Year! We're already in 2018. It's pretty crazy. Just gonna do my best and worst books of 2017 and maybe do a little bit of goals. I read a total of 48 books. I mean, that's pretty good. Got a lot more best than I do worst. My piles are pretty big. So, I'm going to start with the worst. I have 6 books that I didn't really like in 2017, in no particular order. The first one is The Witch's Kiss by Catherine Elizabeth Core. I read this thinking, oh, it's about witches. It's going to be so good. No, I was so disappointed. I wanted to DNF it. I just didn't like it. I hated it, actually. I think I gave it a 2 stars. That's being generous, I think. Yeah. I did not like this book. It's about this family, and they come from witches, and then there's like this bad guy who is imprisoned in some kind of spell, and this family's dealt with his man for generations, like just generations of witches. But the young girl, only she can stop him. I don't know, I didn't like it. I found it sexist and boring and everything else. I just did not like this. The next book that I didn't like in 2017 was more just of a disappointment. I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this, but whatever. That's The Valiant by Leslie Livingston. You think, oh, female gladiators is gonna be fantastic. I didn't think that. I thought it was boring. I was expecting lots of like fighting, but it wasn't. I was just disappointed with it. I have nothing else to say about that. Next book that I didn't like was Roseblood by A.G. Howard. I think I had high expectations because it was a Phantom of the Opera retelling, and I thought it was going to be so good. Then there's like some plot twists, like you find out that vampires are involved, and it's just, excuse me, just wasn't what I wanted to read. I found, though it is cool, I found the red font to be very problematic. It hurt my eyes. It would have been so much better if it just didn't have those vampire parts or whatever they were. But I didn't like it. I wish I wanted to, I just didn't. Next one is kind of a bit controversial, I think. That's Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I did not like this book. That being said, I liked the other 2. I just did not really like this one. More particularly, I didn't like characters in this one. Can't remember his name. Tamlin. I want nothing to do with Tamlin. I didn't hate all of this book. I hated parts of it. And with Sarah J. Maas's books, I'm really so not into the whole mate thing and like you're mine, you can't have anyone else, and then the whole sex. I'm just over it. Like, why do we need to have that in books? I don't know. Alright, last two books that I didn't like in 2017. So second last is Angel Fall by Susan E. I thought it was a great concept, like angelic apocalyptic world. Again, with romance, like, why do you have to have romance all the time? I found it quite boring at times. I don't remember what I rated it. I don't know. It just wasn't for me. Just didn't like it. Probably not gonna continue with the series. I think there's like 2 more books or something. I don't know. I'm not gonna continue it. Last book is another controversial one, and that's just as a whole kind of thing. It's Tower of Dawn. Don't get me wrong, I love Sarah J. Maas's books. I love Kale. I love seeing Kale's perspective, but I'm just showing this one. But as a whole, with the whole Throne of Glass series, I'm just kind of over it. Like, it needs to be done. Yeah, maybe this book doesn't belong on here, so I'm gonna remove it. Just forget I even said that. I'm just kind of done with the series. Yeah. Alright, next ones are the best pile. And it's pretty big, so I guess let's just get into it. There's, again, no particular order, just some of my favorite reads from 2017. This first being Under Rose-Tainted Skies by Louise Cornell. This is about a girl who has like agoraphobia, anxiety, OCD, I believe. So a lot of mental illness and such a sensitive topic. And I loved it. I thought it was corny and cheesy with the whole romance. But that being said, I loved it. It's nice to see and read books that are about such sensitive topics, and yeah, I'm just gonna keep flashing this around. I have nothing really bad to say about it. I mean, the love relation, like the little romance relationship, was cheesy but expected. Yeah, so I really enjoyed that. The next book that I enjoyed in 2017 is Hunting Prince Dracula by Carrie Maniscalco. I have Stalking Jack the Ripper. I didn't really enjoy Stalking Jack the Ripper. I didn't hate it, I just didn't really enjoy it. But this one, I really enjoyed it. I couldn't put it down. I'm like, it is quite thicker than the first one. So I love this, like, I loved everything about Audrey Rose and her friendship with Thomas. I like the stereotypical, yeah, I'm a woman, but I'm gonna do whatever I want. Like, just, you can't force me into marriage and bear children. That's not what I want. Like, I love that about her. And then you're in a new place and she's hunting Prince Dracula and there's like mysteries to solve. It was just so good. And if you haven't read it, you have to read it. Because it is so good. I love it. And I believe there is another one coming out. I could be wrong, but I think there's another one coming out. And I am so excited to read it. I think they like go to America. I don't remember. But yeah, Hunting Prince Dracula. Favorite from 2017. Next is The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli. Again, it deals with mental illness. So it's about a girl named Molly. Yes, Molly. And she's had I don't remember because I read it so long ago. 26 crushes, and she's never acted on them. And she meets this boy, and she likes him, and she has to decide, well, she actually has to decide between two boys that she likes. How's she gonna react? Like, is it just gonna be another crush, or is it gonna progress? I thought this was a cute read. Very diverse characters. I loved it. I think I cried reading this. Like, some parts were sad. If you haven't read this, you need to read it. It's really good. Next up is Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller. First up, pirates. Like, do I need to say more? So it's about, never say her name, Aloza. She intentionally gets herself captured. She wants to do right by her father. She's captain of a ship. Like, pirates. Need I say more? It had strong female character, like do it yourself, she don't need a man kind of thing. It had some problematic things, mostly with her father, but I really enjoyed it, and I cannot wait for the sequel. I think it comes out soon. I'm not sure when. It comes out this year, so I can't wait for that. Again, I'm gonna say pirates. Like, we need more pirate books. Just saying. Next up is, I'm just gonna talk about them all at once. Keep on going out of focus. Is the New World series. So we have New World Rising, New World Ashes, and New World Inferno by Jennifer Wilson. New World Rising came in an owl crate, and I wasn't too sure about it, but then I read it, and I was like, oh my god. So I had to pick up the two. Unfortunately, they weren't sold in Canada, so I had to order them online. But it is a post-apocalyptic kind of world. We follow our main character, Phoenix. She witnesses her parents' death, and then for 10 years or something, she has to survive this post-apocalyptic world on her own, and that's what she does. She survives, but then she meets a group of people, and she has to help them. And then we continue, and we learn Phoenix has got some more baggage to add to her already. I don't want to give it away, because it is an amazing series, and if you have not read it, you need to read it. If you like The Hunger Games, you will love this series. Like, it is by far, I think, in my top 5. I loved it. I devoured them. I gave them each like 5 stars. I could not stop reading them. And the covers are so pretty. Like, I love these series, and you have to read them. So they were a top favorite in 2017. Next up is another top favorite in 2017, and that is Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia. Again, this is a mental illness book. It deals with anxiety and I think other things. It's about a girl named Eliza. She's a creator of this webcomic, but nobody knows it's hers. She meets this boy who's a big fan of the webcomic, but he doesn't know that it's hers. So they like strike up this friendship, and then somehow it leaks. I'm not gonna give it away. So everyone finds out that these are her comics, and she doesn't know how to handle it. If you haven't read this book, what is wrong with you? Read this book. It was so good. I definitely cried reading this. I felt it was very relatable in some aspects. Loved it. So, pick it up, read it, yeah. Next up, we're almost there through my big pile, is Everland by Wendy Spinell. This is a Peter Pan retelling. like a steampunk, post-apocalyptic kind of world. I thought it was really good. It was a different take on Peter Pan. I've read a couple Peter Pan retellings, and this is by far the favorite. Plus the cover is just so pretty. It was really, like, it kept you intrigued, and I just wanted to know what happened. The characters were such good characters. Like, good book. Read it. I believe Ozland comes out this year. That's the third book to this. So there's Everland, Umberland, and Ozland. Read it. Okay. So remember how I said I didn't like Court of Thorns and Roses pretty much? Well, my favorite that I read was A Court of Mist and Fury. I read this book and I was just like, I can see why people love this book and this series. Like, this is the book that got me sold on the series. And it was just so good. It's very big, but it was so good. Like, I could just ramble about how I love this book. Like, we meet new characters, and Freya becomes something that she becomes total badass, and it's just, this book, I can't, like, I would read this book again and again. I don't care about this one, but I'd read this one. Alright. Almost done, I promise. Next book, by far the greatest book that I've read. It's The Hate U Give by Angie Thomas. This is about the Black Lives Matter movement, and I loved this book. I picked it up because I heard a lot of, like, hype about it, but I didn't, like, read it right away. So when I did decide to read it, I was just like, oh my god! Like, I cried so many times during this book. Like, sad tears, happy tears. I've got, like, tears welling up now. It is so good. Like, it is so powerful. Such a sensitive topic that needs to be talked about. Plus, this is just a bonus. There's Harry Potter references. A lot of them. So, if you haven't picked up The Hate U Give, and I strongly and highly suggest that you do, because it is amazing. Read it right now. Alright, down to 3 books. Next book is Hunted by Megan Spooner. I heard that this was a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and I love Beauty and the Beast, so I was like, yep. Plus the cover is just stunning. Can't really see it, but it's all gold up here. This book took me by surprise, because even though it is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, it is very dark, and then it's not like your average typical romance books. The character's very strong-minded and whatever. And then there's passages from the Beast perspective. Like, it was so good. You have to read it. Just for Beauty and the Beast alone, just read it. Alright, last 2. So, this is definitely in my top 5. This book is just so amazing that I just want to read it again. And that is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo and Crooked Kingdom, but I'm just not showing it. This duology, oh my god, I loved it. I didn't read her other book, the Grisha trilogy. I didn't read that first. I was rebel and read this first. I'm so glad I did. I was a little confused at first because obviously I don't know what, like, Grisha universe is, whatever, but I read this and I was just like, I can see why people love this book. Like, the characters are so good. So good. Like, the story and the plot, it was just, it kept me intrigued, and I have nothing bad to say about it. I just loved it so much. And I'm gonna say it again, as I've said throughout the whole video. If you have not read this, read it. Okay, last book. This video is quite long, actually. That's Heartless by Marissa Meyer. This is a Alice in Wonderland retelling from the perspective of Queen of Hearts and how she became the Queen of Hearts. I didn't think I was gonna love it. Like, I read the Lunar Chronicles and I adored them, but I didn't think I was gonna love it. But then I was reading it and like some parts were like eh, but as I kept reading I was just like, oh my god, like this is amazing. This needs to be a movie or something. Like, we need more perspective, like villain perspectives and how they became villains. I loved this book. Anyways, those are the books that I liked and didn't like in 2017. And I'm gonna end here because this video is already really long. And yeah, I leave my Instagram below. If you've read any of these books, comment. I'm gonna start having videos up. I think I'm gonna start once a week, maybe 1 to 2 a week. If there's a video you want me to do, comment below. I will tell you this, a bookshelf tour is coming. I just don't know when. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye.